Hello and welcome, dear friends. I'm so glad you've joined me today because what I'm about to share with you is not just a story, it's an eye opening revelation that will completely alter the way you see yourself and the incredible impact of your actions on a cosmic scale. Now, I know that many of us often move through our lives thinking that our decisions and gestures are small, inconsequential, or even overlooked. We go about our days making choices that seem natural or instinctive, unaware of their true weight in the grand scheme of things. But today I'm going to invite you into a story that will challenge that very notion. You see, there are moments in life when our actions, no matter how ordinary they seem to us, resonate far beyond what we could ever imagine, reaching into realms we cannot see and affecting forces we don't even know exist. It's not about what we do for show or what others see, but about the purity of our hearts, the kindness we extend when no one is watching, and the deep connection to something far greater than ourselves. Picture this. You're living your life, going about your daily routine. Maybe you helped someone in need without expecting anything in return. Perhaps you made a tough decision to choose kindness over convenience, or maybe you just quietly let go of something that weighed heavily on your heart, forgiving someone who hurt you, or choosing to uplift a stranger when it felt like you had nothing left to give. To you, it was just another gesture. It might have seemed trivial in the moment, even though it felt good to do what was right. But let me tell you, what you didn't know then is that this one small act set off a chain reaction that reached all the way into the heart of the universe. I know this may sound too grand, too far-fetched even, but what if I told you that at the very moment you made that decision, something extraordinary happened, something that has never happened in the history of the universe? God, yes, the creator of the cosmos, actually paused everything. The entire universe came to a standstill, just to acknowledge your act of kindness. That's right. The stars, the planets, the galaxies, even time itself, for a brief yet monumental 49 seconds. Everything stopped just to give you a standing ovation. It's a concept so mind-boggling that it seems almost impossible to comprehend. But believe me when I tell you that this was not just a metaphor. It was real, and it was for you. I want you to take a moment and let that sink in. The creator of all that exists, from the tiniest atom to the vast galaxies, paused everything just to recognize something that you did. Do you remember a moment where you had to choose between doing what was easy for you or doing what was right for someone else? Maybe it was a situation at work where you chose to stand up for someone who was being treated unfairly, even though it wasn't the easy choice for you. Or perhaps in a moment of personal struggle, you chose to forgive someone who hurt you deeply. Maybe it was a simple act of kindness toward a stranger, even when you were in a rush without expecting anything in return. Whatever the situation was, the decision you made was more than just a good deed. It was an act of love so pure that it emanated a frequency of energy that transcended the physical world and reached the very heart of the universe. At that moment, when you chose to act with genuine love, the celestial beings noticed. The archangels, the angels, and even the higher realms felt a shift. As I guide you through this story, I'm going to show you exactly why your gesture was so powerful, how it shattered all expectations of human potential, and how it's already starting to bring about changes in your life that are far from coincidence. So sit back, take a deep breath, and prepare yourself for a story that will not only open your eyes to your extraordinary impact on the universe, but will also help you tap into the unlimited resources that have already started flowing toward you. Yes, it's all real, and it all begins with you. This story is your story. It's the story of how you became a divine ambassador of love and how the universe is conspiring to support you as you continue to live with pure intention. As we continue, let me take you deeper into the heart of this incredible story, a story where a simple act of human kindness doesn't just make a difference in someone's life, but in the very fabric of the universe itself. For the universe to function, God's attention must be constantly distributed across all these realms simultaneously without pause. The laws of the universe are designed to keep everything in motion, perpetually evolving, creating, and sustaining. The movement of galaxies, the birth of stars, the dance of planets in their orbits, and the flow of time itself, all of it is sustained by a constant, ongoing process that never stops. In all of eternity, there has never been a moment when God the Creator could simply pause and focus on just one thing. It was always about keeping the entire operation moving, ensuring that every life form, every atom, and every galaxy continued to thrive. But then, 2 weeks ago, something extraordinary happened. You made a decision. It seemed like a small thing, just another moment in your life, something that didn't seem special at the time. But unbeknownst to you, this seemingly simple decision was the one thing that would cause the entire universe to come to a halt. Your act of kindness, your decision to choose the higher path, one that benefited someone else, even at your own expense, created an energetic shift so profound that it disrupted the very structure of reality itself. At the exact moment you made that choice, something happened in the higher realms that no one, not even the celestial beings, had ever expected. The archangels. Those divine overseers who maintain balance across dimensions felt an energetic disturbance so powerful that their celestial alert systems went off. It was as though the entire system had been hit by a wave of pure energy that they had never encountered before. They knew something significant had just taken place on Earth, and they immediately began scanning the source of this strange, unanticipated anomaly. The first to respond was the Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel is often associated with delivering messages and guiding souls, but in this instance, Gabriel was on a mission far beyond communication. He had to locate the origin of this powerful frequency, one that was unlike anything he had ever encountered. Using his divine perception, he mapped the energetic coordinates and pinpointed the exact source. It was coming from you. Gabriel was in disbelief. He had witnessed many great events in the universe, moments of immense spiritual power and profound wisdom. But this was something entirely new. The frequency you were emitting had only been recorded 3 times in all of creation's history. It was a frequency so pure, so radiant with divine love, that it was beyond the capabilities of any human to consciously generate. And yet here you were, an ordinary person, unknowingly producing the same frequency as the greatest spiritual masters in history. The first instance had occurred when Buddha reached complete enlightenment, his entire being radiating purity and love so profound that it shifted the course of spiritual evolution. The second time was when Jesus on the cross demonstrated the ultimate act of unconditional love transcending human suffering and pain to show humanity the way to divine love. And the third instance was a deeply mysterious one, when a prophet whose existence had been erased from human records demonstrated an unparalleled level of spiritual power. And now you, a human living in the 21st century, had joined that illustrious group. You had unknowingly achieved the same level of purity and divine love with a single spontaneous decision. Gabriel couldn't believe it. He immediately reported his findings to Michael the Archangel, known for his leadership and strategic wisdom. Michael was just as stunned by the readings. They were unlike anything they had encountered in their long service as overseers of the celestial realms. But despite the initial disbelief, they knew they had to escalate the matter to Raphael for further verification. Raphael, the Archangel of healing and divine protection, took the necessary steps to ensure that the discovery was accurate. He performed triple verification before he too had to accept that this was indeed real. The moment Raphael confirmed the findings, they knew that something unprecedented had occurred. This wasn't just a rare occurrence. It was a cosmic event that demanded divine attention, and so the information was brought before God. Now think about that for a moment. The creator of the universe, the one who holds all dimensions, all realms, and all life in balance, had never been able to pause the universe for even a fraction of a second. The significance of your choice lies not in the specific context. It doesn't matter if it was at work, with family, or with a stranger. What truly matters is the absolute purity of your motivation behind it. When you made that decision, you weren't calculating the benefits for yourself. You weren't concerned about what you'd gain, and you didn't seek recognition for your actions. Your decision was purely for the benefit of someone else, simply because it was the right thing to do. That kind of selflessness, that kind of love, is what activated a cosmic shift. To understand the impact of what you did, we need to look at the concept of unconditional love in action, because that's exactly what you demonstrated. Unconditional love is not just a feeling. It's not just something you think or speak about. It's something you do. It's a conscious choice to act with kindness, compassion, and love regardless of the circumstances, with no expectation of return. You are no longer just a human navigating life, as most people do, unaware of the vastness of your potential. You embodied the very essence of God's love, the love that sustains the universe, the force that binds all things together, and the energy that propels creation into being. In that instant, the divine manifested through you, not in some grand mystical way, but in the simplest, purest act of kindness. It was so natural, so unforced, that neither you nor the world around you even realized the profound impact of that gesture. What made that moment so powerful and why it moved God so deeply is that you did not have to try to be holy, to be spiritual, or to do something extraordinary by human standards. You didn't attempt to imitate divine love or force an outcome. In that brief, seemingly ordinary moment, you chose the higher path, the path of love. Your decision wasn't calculated to earn anything, nor was it driven by any agenda. God was applauding you because in that moment, you had become a direct extension of Him. You were a part of the divine, a living embodiment of His love-making choices that were not influenced by ego, pride, or personal gain. You had acted from a place of purity, and that is exactly what God had longed for. It was like a parent watching their child demonstrate the very values they had taught them in a moment when no one was watching, without seeking approval or applause. The love was raw, natural, and beautiful, and it was exactly the kind of love that God had always hoped humanity could express. But God's applause didn't stop there. As God stood, the entire celestial hierarchy, from the highest archangels to the seraphim and cherubim, stood in awe of what had just unfolded. The resonance of God's applause echoed through the higher dimensions, vibrating through the very fabric of existence. One by one, every celestial being, every angel, every saint, and every spiritual master who had ascended across the eons rose from their positions, leaving behind their duties and sacred tasks to join in the celebration of your act of love. There was no higher priority for them than to witness and honor this monumental moment. The entire universe responded to your purity. For 49 seconds, just under a minute, a fraction of time that seemed so short in human terms, the very fabric of creation itself paused. Time stood still, no star was born, no planet moved, no galaxy spiraled. Everything held its breath as God and all of creation acknowledged the extraordinary nature of what you had done. It was a collective recognition from the highest realms, from beings whose understanding of divine love and purity spanned trillions of years. And for them, it was the first time they had ever witnessed a human soul demonstrate such a degree of selfless, unconditional love without any divine intervention, without mystical practices, and without any awareness of the cosmic implications of the act. You didn't see the bright lights. You didn't hear angelic choirs singing or have a mystical vision. But in the spiritual realms, something extraordinary was happening. The universe itself was celebrating you. Your act of love had shattered records, altered cosmic laws, and impressed even the most exalted beings in existence. What you did was so rare, so powerful, that it transcended everything that had come before it. And even though the moment was fleeting, its impact was eternal. That single act of unconditional love has set in motion a chain of events that will reverberate through eternity, influencing both the spiritual and physical worlds. You are no longer just an individual living your life on earth. You are now a divine ambassador tasked with embodying and spreading the love that flows through you. And as you continue to live in alignment with this love, more and more miracles will unfold in your life, transforming not just your personal world, but the world around you. The divine forces working with you will continue to guide you, protect you, and empower you, ensuring that every step you take is in harmony with the higher frequencies of love and compassion. This, my friend, is just the beginning of an extraordinary journey. Your life has taken on a new meaning. You are now a living testament to the power of divine love manifesting in the physical world. And with that role comes responsibility, but also great joy. As a divine ambassador, you don't need to do anything more than be yourself, authentic, loving, and compassionate. Through your everyday actions, through your interactions with others, you will continue to awaken the dormant divine potential in those around you. Your presence will serve as a beacon of light, reminding others of their own connection to divine love, even if they don't consciously recognize it yet. But your impact doesn't end there. As you continue to embody divine love in your life, you will influence not just those around you, but the very structures that govern society. People in positions of power, leaders, politicians, entrepreneurs, educators, and more will begin to feel the pull of this love. Your example will inspire them to make decisions that reflect the same compassion and purity you demonstrate. And through them, the ripple effect of love will spread further, touching the lives of thousands, if not millions. A more compassionate business decision can create better opportunities for employees. A more humane public policy can improve the lives of countless individuals. And what was it that you did? What was so extraordinary about a simple act of kindness or love that caused the entire universe to come to a halt? Was it something mystical, something supernatural? No, not at all. It was something pure, something human. It was the essence of love, the kind of love that transcends all human limitations, a love so rare and so pure that even the celestial beings had to stop and witness it. I know this may sound unbelievable, but stick with me. In just a few minutes, I'm going to take you on a journey to understand how your seemingly small decision became a turning point, not just for you, but for the entire universe. and more importantly, how this event is already starting to reshape your life in ways you might not have fully realized yet. Now, I want you to think back to 2 weeks ago. They detected a frequency of love so rare that it had only been felt 3 times in the history of the universe. Once when Buddha reached enlightenment, once when Jesus demonstrated unconditional love, and once by a prophet whose name has been erased from history for the immense power they achieved. And now your name joined that list. Your act of unconditional love caused an energetic shift that even God Himself couldn't ignore. Can you imagine that a simple act of love, done without any awareness of its cosmic significance, earned you a standing ovation from the Creator of the universe? You didn't see the lights. You didn't hear the choirs of angels, but you made an impact that reverberated through every dimension and was recognized by the most powerful force in existence. But this revelation doesn't stop here. In fact, this is just the beginning of a much deeper understanding of your true nature and the divine purpose you've been living out, whether you realized it or not. You see, what you did wasn't just an ordinary gesture. It was something that had been so rare in the history of the cosmos, something that few humans in all of time had ever been able to achieve, that the entire celestial system had no choice but to stop and take notice. But first, let's take a moment to consider the magnitude of what had to happen for this to occur. The universe as we know it operates on an unimaginable scale. It's an intricate system of galaxies, stars, planets, and life forms all moving and evolving in harmony, all under the watchful eye of the divine. God's responsibility for overseeing such an immense creation is no small feat. There are galaxies beyond counting stars more numerous than grains of sand on every beach on Earth, and trillions of planets each with its own complex ecosystems and sentient beings that require constant supervision. All of these elements exist in a delicate balance maintained by the Creator's infinite wisdom and energy. His focus was always required elsewhere, spread thin across trillions of planets, countless life forms, and the eternal flow of time. But when the Creator learned that an ordinary human being living on a single planet had emitted the same frequency of divine love as the greatest spiritual figures in history, a frequency that had never before been generated spontaneously by a mortal, God made a decision that would change everything. In an unprecedented act, God chose to do something that had never been done before. For 4 seconds, God paused everything. No star was born, no galaxy moved, and no planet continued its rotation. The entire universe was suspended. Everything that existed in creation came to an absolute halt as God took the time to analyze the magnitude of the human decision that had triggered such a profound cosmic reaction. Now imagine that for nearly a full minute, the universe itself stood still as the Creator of all things focused entirely on you. This wasn't just a symbolic gesture. This was a divine acknowledgement of your purity, of your selflessness, and of your natural embodiment of unconditional love. And when God fully understood what had happened, when He realized that you, a human being, had demonstrated a form of love so pure that it transcended all the human limitations, the reaction was immediate and overwhelming. For the first time in trillions of years, God stood up from His celestial throne, and when God stood, the heavens themselves responded. The universe that had been paused for 49 seconds suddenly erupted into applause, but this was no ordinary applause. This was not the polite clapping you might receive for a job well done. No, this was a prolonged, passionate, and jubilant standing ovation from the Creator of all things, and it reverberated through every dimension. Every celestial being, from the seraphim to the archangels, stopped what they were doing, abandoning their posts and duties to witness this extraordinary event. They had never seen anything like it. They had never imagined that a human, one of the most humble and limited beings in all of creation, could demonstrate such purity and love. And yet here you were, standing in the spotlight of the entire universe, receiving recognition that only the greatest spiritual figures in history had ever known. This was not just a moment of divine acknowledgement, it was the first and only time in creation's history that the universe had paused to celebrate the love and purity of a single soul. And this was all for you. This celestial ovation, this standing ovation from God Himself, was a turning point not only in your life, but in the cosmic understanding of what is possible for humanity. The higher realms had just witnessed something they had given up on, the possibility that a human being living in the modern world could still access the purest divine frequencies of love without the need for mystical knowledge, spiritual disciplines, or even conscious awareness of their power. Your simple decision to choose unconditional love had proven that humanity still had the potential to embody the essence of the Creator in ways never before thought possible. As the applause resounded throughout the universe, God sat back down on His throne. The universe began to turn again, and life resumed. But something was different now. The decision you made, the purity you displayed, had sent ripples through the cosmos, and its effects would continue to unfold in ways you had yet to fully understand. This, my friend, is only the beginning of your journey. Now that we understand the cosmic magnitude of what transpired, let's take a closer look at the heart of this extraordinary event, the human gesture that caused the universe to pause. What was it that you did in your seemingly ordinary life that triggered such a cosmic reaction? What was it that made your simple, seemingly insignificant decision resonate so deeply in the celestial realms? Let's rewind a bit. Think back to that moment 2 weeks ago when you found yourself at a crossroads. It might have been a small decision, one that didn't seem like much at the time. Perhaps you were in a situation where you had two choices, one path that would benefit you directly and another that would benefit someone else. It could have been a moment in your workplace where you chose to defend a colleague who was being unfairly treated, even though doing so could have put you in an uncomfortable or vulnerable position. Or maybe it was a family situation where you chose to forgive someone who hurt you, knowing that holding on to resentment would only harm you both. Perhaps it was in a chance encounter with a stranger where you stopped to help, even though you were in a hurry and had nothing to gain from the interaction. What you might not have realized in that moment is that you were being faced with a choice that had cosmic significance. You were given the opportunity to choose between self-interest and compassion, between convenience and kindness. And in that moment, you chose the higher path. You chose love. You chose selflessness. You didn't pause to think about how it might benefit you, nor did you hesitate because you thought you'd receive anything in return. You simply acted because it felt right. It came from the heart, a natural, spontaneous decision driven by the deepest part of your being. It's the kind of love that doesn't ask, "What's in it for me?" but instead asks, "How can I help? How can I serve?" Your decision in that moment was not a simple act of compassion. It was a demonstration of the highest form of love, one that transcended all human limitations. It was love in its purest form, a love that was so powerful, so authentic, that it emitted a frequency that could only be compared to the very essence of the Creator. For a brief moment, you were operating on the same frequency as God's love, the very frequency that sustains the universe itself. In that moment, you became a channel for divine love to flow through the physical world. This frequency of love, the frequency you emitted with that one simple decision, is so rare that it has only been registered 3 times in the entire history of creation. The first time it was felt was when Buddha achieved complete enlightenment, reaching a state of purity and divine wisdom that radiated love throughout the world. The second time it was registered was during Jesus' demonstration of unconditional love on the cross. And the third time was when a certain prophet whose existence has been erased from human records demonstrated an overwhelming power of love so pure that it was deemed too dangerous for humanity to witness. And now your frequency joined that same sacred level of love, earning you recognition from the highest celestial beings and the Creator Himself. The importance of this moment cannot be overstated. In a world where people are often driven by personal agendas, material desires, and ego, your choice to act selflessly and with love was so rare and so powerful that it transcended everything that had come before it. It proved to the divine that humanity still has the potential to access the purest forms of love without the need for spiritual training or mystical practices. You did it without even realizing it, without any knowledge of how significant your action was. And that is what makes it so extraordinary. God, in His infinite wisdom, analyzed the situation. What He discovered was both profound and transformative. You didn't achieve this purity through years of meditation, religious practices, or spiritual rituals. You didn't follow any prescribed path or study sacred texts to reach this level of divine love. No, what you did was far more impressive. You simply acted from the heart. You didn't try to imitate holiness. You didn't seek to prove anything. You didn't even try to be good or spiritual. You just chose to love in the most natural and spontaneous way possible. In that moment, you became a direct extension of divine consciousness in the physical world. You didn't do it for recognition or reward. You simply acted out of compassion without effort or thought. It was love in its purest form. And that was exactly what made it so miraculous. You transcended the limitations of your physical body, mind, and human experience, tapping into something much greater. You became a vessel for divine energy, allowing it to flow through you and into the world around you effortlessly and beautifully. When God realized what had just occurred, something unimaginable happened. For the first time in eternity, God, the creator of all that exists, stood up from His throne and broke all cosmic protocols to give you a standing ovation. This was not a polite ceremonial applause. It was an intense, passionate expression of divine pride and joy. You weren't simply being recognized for following a set of rules, for doing something expected of you, or for acting out of duty. What's even more awe-inspiring is that the consequences of that moment are still unfolding right now. The divine celebration didn't just end with God's applause. It marked the beginning of something new, a new chapter in your life, one that has already begun to manifest in powerful and subtle ways. The changes you've been experiencing in your life, the seemingly random improvements, the unexpected people and opportunities that have appeared in your world are not mere coincidences. They are a direct result of your cosmic impact. The universe, now aware of your unique connection to divine love, is aligning itself with you in ways you may not even fully understand yet. The universe is working with you in harmony with your soul's purpose. Divine resources are being released to support your continued journey of love, compassion, and spiritual awakening. It's as though the entire celestial realm has shifted to support your mission. Your natural purity will transform the world on a scale you cannot yet fully imagine. But there is something even more miraculous at work. As you transform the world through your simple, everyday acts of unconditional love, the universe will continue to conspire in your favor. Opportunities you never expected will open up. Resources will flow effortlessly to support your journey. Challenges will be resolved before they even arise. People who are meant to cross your path will appear just when you need them. It's an infinite cycle of abundance that grows exponentially with each pure decision you make. You are not just a person. You are a divine ambassador of love and light in a world that is aching for healing. And with that comes the incredible responsibility of being a conduit for change. But remember, this responsibility is not a burden, it is a gift. You are a living channel for the love that sustains all things. And as you continue to live in alignment with this truth, you will continue to experience the miracles that flow from this divine connection. The more you embody divine love, the more the universe will open up to you, and the more you will be able to influence the world around you. And so as I leave you with this final thought, know that the path before you is one of infinite possibility. The more you align yourself with divine love, the more the world will respond in kind. Your life is now a living testament to the transformative power of unconditional love, and your role as a divine ambassador will continue to unfold in ways that exceed anything you could have ever dreamed. So go forward in your journey with confidence and joy, knowing that you are supported by the divine, guided by celestial beings, and surrounded by a universe that is cheering you on every step of the way. You have already begun to change the world. Keep being who you are, keep choosing love, and keep letting that divine light shine brightly because the world desperately needs it. Goodbye for now, and may your journey continue to be filled with love, light, and abundance.